We are error.
I'll preheat the oven.
All right, preheat the oven. And by the way, that's what I call ovulating. Preheating the oven. Can you ever tell when a woman's ovulating? I can. Like, casual interaction with a woman that you work with, they'll say shit that's kind of sexy to you, and you'll be like, oh shit, what's going on? And then I'm the asshole who asks. I'll be like, are y'all ovulating right now? And they'll be like, yeah, I think I am. And you know, these bitches cycle together.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just always like,
they work together.
And I always say the same thing. I'm like, pretty sure someone's getting laid this weekend because y'all are fucking ovulating like crazy.
I know what me and my ex-girl like going through a year of trying to have a kid. Like I could tell when she was ovulating because she was like really fucking like horned up. And she was on these hormone medications that would really amp up her ovulation time.
I can always tell whenever single bitches are ovulating because they're always crying about wanting kids.
Oh yeah, every fucking time.
You're just never gonna have a baby.
It's weird. It's the inverse. It's the night and the day because when they're ovulating, they're all like, ooh yeah, ooh, and then whenever they're gonna have their period, like, fuck you!
Don't you touch me! Fucking stupid bitch.
Hey everybody, welcome to the We Are Air podcast. You guys forgot we were doing it, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to the We Are Air podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Jake
and
Hobbs.
And ladies and gentlemen, what is the We Are Air podcast? The podcast we talk about movies, entertainment, and whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
fuck we want to talk
about. And we're
about.
gonna hit the whatever today. Whatevs with a little bit of paranormal subjects.
I thought you were going Ace Ventura.
We're getting a little bit creepy with you, Javi. Look, you're getting nervous already. You're already twitching a little bit.
He is. He's curling up his shirt tighter over his fists.
Yeah, dude.
Just so I don't.
Javi, how do you react to scary movies and stuff like that?
For really scary movies, like I remember I saw Conjuring in theater. That fucking.
The Conjuring?
And I saw it in Studio Movie Room. The Conjuring.
Is that what he said?
No, I saw The Conjurer.
I saw Conjuring.
The Clockwork Orange? What did you see?
Me and my ex went to go see that. We were at Studio Movie Room, and like the server really liked him because she thought it was hilarious. So she like comes up during one of the scary scenes with her like surprise dessert, like a fucking ice cream sandwich. And she goes, I got the video. Ah! And I throw my fucking fork against the wall. It clanks off the wall.
What a bitch!
On the table. And it clanks on the floor. And I'm just like, sorry, everybody. And then she's fucking dying laughing at me. Like, I can react.
To be fair, a haunted parfait would scare the fuck out of me.
And then just started flying out of my head.
I'm so sorry. If I was watching a scary movie and a delicious chocolate cake came floating towards you, I'd be like, no!
Well, yeah, like,
what you did was right. It's a ghost cupcake.
Like, certain movies will scare the fuck out of me, like Women in Black.
The Lady in Black scared you?
Well, for certain scenes. Anytime there's a horror movie that has a rocking chair, and the scene's just like stark silent, and the rocking chair, like that shit creeps me the fuck out.
Why is that? Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
I don't know, there's just something, Have
you had an experience with an old creepy rocking chair?
Have you ever got your foot stuck under one? Fuck yeah, I've had experience with one. That shit hurts, dude.
Fucking pinky under there?
Yeah. Oh, goddamn.
If you ever like spend the night at my place, I always have noise going.
And then the rocker, I swallowed the remote.
There's something severely scary to me about silence, and I don't know why.
Hey, everyone, shut up for a minute.
Because like in my house, I always got.
Hey.
Come on, guys.
Let me turn off the AC. Hold on.
I don't like silence in like those scenes that are like.
So do you scare easy?
For certain things, I will scare easy.
All right, is it psychological shit more scary to you, or jumpy shit?
Jumpy shit. Psychological shit really doesn't bother me.
What is the scariest movie you've ever seen? It's too silent in here.
Scariest movie?
What's the movie that made you like pee your pants? What you guys can't see is Jake is steadily creeping up behind Javi to scare him.
Insidious.
Really? Insidious? What about Insidious?
Oh, motherfucker! Piece of shit, you goddamn dick!
This used to be my favorite thing. I scared the shit out of the office every goddamn day. Yes. I would scare the fucking shit out of them. Every goddamn day at work.
I'm trying so hard not to look at you as you're doing it.
Like, I remember Will got me so bad that I went like that and my glasses went flying off my fucking
and stuck in the wall like you worked did when you were in the theater.
Dude, I got so fucking pissed.
You know what would be hilarious is every time you get scared of shit just stuck in the wall. You're holding a book and...
There's fucking hat bills in there.
So, do movies scare you?
No.
Have you ever been terrified?
Okay, yes. So, whenever I was younger, The Shining. I think I've talked to y'all about this before also. That one really got me as a fucking kid. It was one of those ones where you're watching it late at night by yourself, but you'll turn away the channel because, like, fuck, this shit's getting fucking real scary, so I'll just put on some fucking Ren and Stimpy or something.
Yeah, it's for 5 minutes and just
then you're like, well, no, and then you're like, even after, like, the first minute, you're just like, oh, yeah, I want to see what's going on there. It's like, fuck, why did I look back?
When's the last time you watched something like that, though, that you had to cover your eyes or look away?
Probably 8 or 9 years old. I will tell you this. I used to be really afraid of haunted houses also. I think maybe 15 or 16 is whenever I broke out of that. I wouldn't go to haunted houses at all. And there was Fright Fest at Six Flags. Mm-hmm. And I went with my older brother, who's 9 years older than me, and my sister-in-law, who's 7 years older than me. I was like 15, and they were like wanting to go through the fucking haunted house. I was like, no, I don't want to go through the haunted house. And I was like, I stood in between them the entire time, like just
at 15?
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
I was way afraid. And then for some reason, I don't know what happened after that. I think it was probably just smoking weed.
Yeah. Oh,
probably fucking, yeah, man, fuck these ghosts.
Go in first, fuck it.
Exactly. But I'm saying, but ever since then, I would always be the first one in line, like cutting edge. Like I fucking love going through. Like I wait for the fucking jump scares. I fucking love that shit.
I love it.
So I don't get scared at scary movies anymore. Or shit like that. My real fear is not like irrational. Like I'm not afraid of snakes or shit like that. I'm afraid of the law. I'm afraid of not being able to pay my bills on time.
Right. So maybe
these are the real
scariest movie that you
do what? Yeah, a cop is pretty scary, but I grew up with them, so they're not that scary to me. I know how to talk to them.
Right.
I think it's just more effective. Just personal life struggles. Those are the things that fucking scare me.
You guys not being raised, well, you were raised in the country a little bit.
Yeah.
You not at all. Does the country scare you?
Concrete jungle.
Like if you go to the country, there's no street lights, there's no people around.
I went on a date with this girl had about 3 months ago, and we were just driving around. That was when Kevin Farley was in town. I had to cancel. She goes, well, let's go to... We went to eat at Cafe Brazil, and then she lives in Red Oak, which is out in the fucking boonies. So he's like, oh, we could just drive around. So we drove to Red Oak. You want to take the back streets? I'm like, I'm seeing fucking trailers here. Yeah. I don't think I want to do
What trailers were you watching?
I don't know. Like mobile homes and shit. And it was so fucking creepy, bro. There were no streetlights, nothing. I was like, I don't want to get fucking raped.
I'm going to tell you straight up. I was born and raised in the country. I'm used to country living, middle of nowhere, Appalachian Mountains, fucking hillbilly bullshit. When I went back after living in the city for a long time, it was scary driving on those roads. I forgot that you get to see everything at night here, regardless if you think so or not.
Right.
Ooh, it's dark out. It's not fucking
No,
dark.
it's not.
You go out there, it's
so
dark.
much fucking city pollution lights.
And the quiet out there is insane. You can hear every bug. You can hear every animal out in like the forest.
Dude, you're making them cry already talking about the silence.
It literally, the level of comfort after that, I was just like... Because we used to go indoors and smoke and be paranoid. Why the fuck were we paranoid? We could have been smoking outside the entire time.
That was your normal. That was your normal.
Well, it was your paranormal.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. So, do y'all have any experiences that you might think have been supernatural or paranormal at all?
Whether it's ghosts or aliens, do you guys have any stories of those things that have ever happened to you? I have plenty, and I will share, but if you guys want to go first, you want me to go first?
I have one that really sticks out of my mind. There was a house off of Arkansas and Bowen over here in Arlington. Everybody called it the Arkansas house, and it had this fucking crazy back legend behind it. Like,
dude, I'm already getting the chills for the scary story chills.
So,
how are you getting them?
Do you know where John B's is? It used to be right across the street from John B's.
Okay.
But it was the only house by itself out there at the time. And it was this nice-ass fucking house. It was split level, had a basement, 3 stories. But it was, for as long as we all knew, it was just fucking closed down, boarded up, spray paint everywhere, yellow tape, shit like that. Behind a chain link fence, we would all skip school and go there just to fuck around, film and shit or whatever, just to see what was going on. Because we always, we tried to finger fuck at the haunted house, but they didn't like that shit too much. The spirits, not the girls.
You stop finger fucking those
No. It was weird because I'm really... The way that I look at maybe how people view ghosts, maybe it's a slip dimension. We talked about this.
Yeah, 100%. My theory on ghosts are twofold. Either one, you leave an imprint in time where you just do the same action over and over and over again, and it leaves an imprint. Just the same way as if you take a path over and over and over again with a bike or an ATV or just your feet.
It's a timestamp.
It will stamp into it.
Okay.
You'll leave your mark. Or, secondly, time is a circle. You can move from one period of time to the other. If time is a never-ending circle, What's saying that you couldn't go from this point to this point at any point or slip in between those?
Interdimensional, just a time rift, whatever else.
Exactly. I do
We
believe that.
practically are living in a multiverse anyways, or a simulation theory
Everything.
where these things happen. But the thing is like, whenever we hear our modern day ghost stories about how people look, they're dressed in Victorian clothing and shit like that. Why is that? Because if you go back and look at accounts from Victorian era ghosts, they didn't even know how the fuck to describe them. You know what I'm saying? They could have been dressed in modern
You
fucking
think
clothes.
that they were looking at us? Yeah.
They could have been dressed in fucking modern clothes and didn't
shit,
know how to
that's
fucking describe that, right?
That's good. Maybe all history in the ancestor simulator that we're in only starts from colonial time until now.
Maybe. Who
That's
knows,
what we're
man?
seeing.
But
It's
it's
tripping.
fucking wild. And, we have these accounts throughout history also. There's documented things of things not making sense. But we don't know how to interpret them. Are they being elusive? Are they trying to fucking be allegorical to something? Whereas, also, if something totally horrific happens. This is my buddy David Jessup's theory. What he's saying is he had a friend that was very close to him murdered somewhere, But he thinks that if something is so gruesome and so inhumane and unnatural, that it'll leave a timestamp there recording what the fuck happened. You get what I'm saying?
And that's
the grisly
trauma,
murder
the
fucking
trauma
shit.
of it. Yeah, absolutely. So what was it about this house?
Okay,
though?
so we would go there, and it was typical like what you might see on like a YouTube or anything like that. But you go inside the house and there's spray paint everywhere. Don't go in the basement. Don't go in the attic. Hell is here. Fucking pentagram spray paint on the floor and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking wild shit. You've heard a million stories from a bunch of people that have been there. Man, I've been there and I saw like apparitions and shit like that. Well, I mean, I've been a couple times and I've seen my friends, as soon as they walk out, have bruises where they shouldn't be and scratches and shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, whatever. You just didn't, you got hit and you didn't realize it, last night or something. There was one day I went down to the house with like half the varsity football team. These big fucking, they're all about fucking Javi size, maybe taller. Fucking,
Beast mode.
yeah, dude, they're fucking just big hulking motherfuckers. And we go down to the basement. We get into the meat locker. The meat locker somehow shuts behind us and locks.
Holy shit! Oh, his eyes rolled.
So
Terrified. He got possessed for a second.
and we're filming also. Camera goes out.
yeah.
Battery
Right.
dies. We all start panicking. They start banging the fuck out of the door. They knock it off the goddamn hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We rush out. We're all like, what the fuck? Like freaking out, drive home. We decide to go back the next day just to look and see. The fucking door was back up. Okay. So I don't know. Maybe in my mind, this is why I try to rationalize this shit. Maybe, just maybe, they hit it so hard that they were able to swing it open. Maybe I just made it up in my head that we were stepping over. But everybody else's account is that we knocked that fucking door off the goddamn wall. Nobody took care of that place. It was abandoned. It was demolished maybe 6 months later. Like, nobody upkept it. Like, why would they fucking go back and put the fucking meat locker door up?
I got
Weird
so
shit
much
like
story.
that. Weird fucking shit. That was like one of the most... It stood out the most to me.
I want to bring up what you said about the energy drain on the camera. I totally forgot about this. Me and my third girlfriend were out taking pictures of very old graveyards. Gravestones from the 1700s, 1800s, and such.
Is this,
In Limestone, Pennsylvania. So we're taking pictures.
were these, colonial?
They were just old fucking gravestones. I don't know. But, like, they were like...
Well, I mean, I think East Coast, and I think, like, whenever you say 1700s, I think...
Oh, yeah, they were...
Like Williamsburg and shit.
Right. Gettysburg,
Pennsylvania's
shit
got
like
the old
that.
stuff, you know what I mean? And so you have like family plots where there's 7 kids, but they only live like 10 years, 5 years, because they died from whatever.
Measles, smallpox.
And so you got these. So we're in
Natives.
there taking pictures, trying to be respectful, not jump,
Ghosts.
not walking on stuff. And there's a feeling of it's a peaceful, like creepy feeling in this place. And my uncle lived nearby, so we talked about the ghost that came down from the graveyard. So we're up in there and we're taking pictures. Fully charged camera. Totally working. Everything's fine. We're taking pictures. Everything's coming out beautifully. We're just taking pictures of these gravestones. Camera drains out of nowhere. What the fuck? So we're trying to take the batteries out, put them back in. Not working at all. So finally I get it back to the apartment we're staying at. Put it in there. Go to put the pictures on the computer. They're all screwed up. They're all multicolored. They look like they've been redigitized. None of them came out clear. It's all fucked up. And when you talked about the camera drain, I've had that not just happen that one time. I've had that happen multiple times with electronics as I've went out to do EVPs or record sessions. So that is something they believe in the paranormal that can happen, is there can be a drain of energy. They also believe, like you said, it can happen from people. That's why they attack people. And they
Right.
try to take their energy.
But let's be real. When is the last time you've heard a legit documented story about somebody dying from an unknown force or phenomena? This person was killed by a ghost at this house.
People get demons and shit like that.
Right, but I mean...
Well, let's talk to Javi. What's your story, Hobbs?
I want to hear your...
In Jersey, there's this, I can't remember the area that it's in, but it's called Shades of Death Road in New Jersey. And supposedly, the story goes, that's where the mob would execute the people that they would execute and dump the body off the side of the road.
Oh, shit.
And people would say, like, yeah, if you drive by at a certain time of night, you could actually see the ghosts of the mob hitmen dispatching of the ghosts of the person that they killed and disposing of the body. Like, it was like in a loop. Like, they would just, like, replay the act all over
Timestamp. Something gruesome, something horrific happening.
Yeah, I remember I was too afraid, but my brother drove down that road. It's like about 5 miles long, and it's just like a sidewinding road with nothing but houses across the street and nothing but, like, woods on the other side, and it's super fucking creepy. I mean, it's called Shades of Death, and I was like, nope.
So,
have fun with that.
city lights?
No city lights.
Yeah, it was just...
Street lights, people go.
And then my brother went and he goes, yeah, I could have sworn I saw like 2 figures out there. Okay. But he goes like, yeah, it looked like they were just like hacking up a body. Whoa.
Oh, Javi, why would they do that on the side of the road? They're mobsters, for God's sake.
First of all, you gotta think, like, back when the mob was running Jersey, that must have been like fucking just straight country back then.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
It was before Atlantic City and all that shit.
During the Atlantic City.
I love your fucking look into the, like, you get freaked out so easy, dude. I love it.
I really do. I don't like it. And I do have a personal story where, I don't know what happened. I remember it was just me and my grandfather, and he was watching me. It could have been a fever dream, because I think I was sick at the time. I just hear him moaning from the... I'm laying on the couch, and the door of the bedroom is, like, right there, but to the side. All of a sudden, I hear him moaning, and he doesn't sound... I was like, Grandpa, you okay? He comes out, and it's like he's fused into the wall.
Whoa, what? Okay, what?
And, like, he's turned the corner, and it's like his face
What?
is like, Jay!
You heard him yelling.
Yes!
It's like the fucking Philadelphia experiment.
Like that. He was, like, fused into the fucking wall.
Was this a dream, or was
I don't fucking know.
They said it might have been a fever dream.
Real. It might have been a fever dream for all I knew. Because I remember, like, he, like, pulled himself away from the wall, but he was still fucked up.
That's crazy.
I think fever dreams are important, though, and I've been delirious once or twice in my life. And it does put your mind into a headspace where it can experience other things. And I was thinking about that earlier, writing down paranormal experiences, because I've had a couple of those delirious moments where I come out of sync with time. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this. The only way to describe it is if you smoke weed, you get used to it, where time slows down, and that's one of my favorite things about pot.
Yeah.
But I can't smoke because paranoia takes over.
Right.
But the CBD oil has the same effect, where it slows down time, or I don't care that time is moving so rapidly. Usually I live in the future. I'm like, I gotta do this, this, and this. And
Right.
CBD makes me go like, yeah, I can live in the moment, enjoy it.
What was I doing again?
Yeah. It just kind of slows down. That's why I like CBD oil so much.
Right.
But being delirious, I've come out of sync with time, where I'm like, time's moving too fast, I'm moving too slow. Or the inverse, I'm moving too fast, time's moving too slow. So I do think this is a powerful tool that can tap into those things whenever the chemicals get unbalanced. But along those lines, what you were talking about, I had a dream, and this was, I believe, a paranormal experience. I don't know if it was a dream or it was real. I was probably 4 or 5, and I woke up, and I was laying in my bed, and it was dark in the room, and I heard, Duck, come out here. Duck, come out here. Duck, come out here.
Okay, we got it. They're beckoning you.
Duck, come out here. Duck, come out here. This did not stop for 3 hours. Whoa. And it was my parents' voice saying it.
Wow.
Duck, come out here.
Alright, Duck, you gotta stop.
Duck,
No, he
come
doesn't.
out here. There's no way that was my parents, and I still believe this today.
Yeah, why would
to
they
this
say
day,
that for 3 hours fucking
for
straight?
3 hours straight calling my name, and to this day I believe it was aliens trying to abduct me. I really do believe that.
I have an alien story.
Go ahead, what was
Go
your
on.
alien story?
Okay, alright. It was...
Do you have sleep paralysis at all?
What's that?
Your mind wakes up, your body stays asleep, so
God, no.
you can see around the room and you're still dreaming.
Shadow people are a big part of fucking
When you have
sleep paralysis.
you can't move. What it is,
It's night terrors.
Yeah, when your
I
body...
get night terrors, bro.
What happens is you wake up, you can see the room, but your body hasn't woken up out of the REM sleep, so you can't move. Your body shuts down whenever you go to sleep, so you don't get up and walk around and do shit.
You're basically seeing the fucked up shit in your dreams with your
Exactly.
eyes open, but you can recount everything
And
that's
there's
going
a
on.
fight or flight reflex. So a lot of people, and I've had it happen to me multiple times, I'll wake up and I can't move my body. The first time it happened, I was laying in bed, and I can't move, and I'm freaking out, and I'm screaming, move, move! And I can't move anything, but I'm screaming, move, move your hand, move something, and then nothing's moving. And it's just the consciousness in the back. And all of a sudden, this face floated up to me, this ghost-like face, and went, Rah! And I fucking flipped out, and I still couldn't do anything except for look at it.
It's crazy shit. Yeah, that's all you can do. You can't move.
You can't move. The other thing
You're just fucking stuck with it. And they usually are face to face with you. They'll get right in your fucking face and antagonize you.
A lot of times it's a shadow creature that's in the room. The last time it happened to me was about 4 years ago, and there was a shadow of a woman in the room trying to get at me. And it's terrifying. There's a movie that came out recently.
It's your mind playing tricks on you.
It is. It's a fight or
That's
flight.
what it is. It's just because you don't understand what's going on, like physically, because you're not supposed to be awake whenever you have REM.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So that's what it all is. But it's just a weird disconnect to where you can actually
reflex.
Right. But and you can actually, in your mind, you think this shit's real because you're awake, but you're not fucking awake at all. You're still producing fucking DMT, whatever to fucking make you fucking dream.
I do have an interesting story on like that.
Okay.
I don't have sleep paralysis because my anxiety is always on alert, and I'm always in fight or flight mode, and it sucks. It was one time I was in bed with my wife, and I was having a really bad nightmare. Like I dreamed that I was back in the truck with the guy who did what he did to me when I was 11.
Oh, fuck that guy.
And
fucking
for some reason, I was just like, fuck, and I shot up, and I like swung at something. And all of a sudden, the fucking lamp that was on the fucking nightstand at the end of the bed just went flying off the fucking thing.
You had X-Men powers?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, right.
It could have just been like me jerking in the
You
bed.
fucking Jean Grey.
God damn, dude. You fucking Professor X that shit right off
I don't know, but it was fucking crazy. But anyway, my alien story.
Okay, alien.
It was New Year's Eve. Me and my wife were driving to her friend's house. All of a sudden, we start hearing like, boom. And it's like 9:30 at night. Boom. Boom. Oh, man. I was like, what the fuck is that? Is it fireworks? I it's too early for fucking fireworks. And they're like deep, and it sounded metallic. And we look up, and we think it's a plane light, like plane light shit, but they're fucking boxes, and they're lights. And all of a sudden they go, like they fucking slow blink and look to the side.
Yeah. It's slow blink like a creature and look to the side.
Yeah. Not like, but I'm pretty sure it's like a fucking giant robot or something.
When you say this, it sounds like the War of the Planet of the Worlds or something like the tripods kind of thing, where like it moved.
Yeah.
Right?
It had two eyes.
Like it was blinking on
what you can't see is a slow blink move from left to right.
Right.
Like it was
like a giant or something.
But it was at the same time.
Yeah.
It was like a set of eyes.
Yeah.
What do you think it was?
It could have been a plane with just like weird square-shaped windows. No, I wasn't. I wasn't smoking at the time or even eating it.
I've had one out the back of Arlington Improv, and it was close to the sunset, and we were looking at the Studio Movie Girl sign out the back, where we'd all go outside to smoke cigarettes. And I had to get Eric and David to come out to like make sure that I wasn't fucking hallucinating shit. And it was bright enough sunset that it shouldn't have looked like a star right next to the Studio Movie Girl sign. Y'all know whenever you see it, you look out the back and it looks fairly tall. I mean, it's got to be at least 40 feet tall, their movie sign up there. So I'm seeing the sunset and I see what appears to be a star next to the sign, but obviously it's way further away. It's closer towards the sun than anything. But the fucked up part is, obviously if I'm seeing the sunset, we're looking towards the west. Well, that fucking, what I thought was a star, was dropping with the sun as opposed to rising up against it. I didn't know how to explain it. David saw it. Eric saw it. Like, holy shit, what the fuck is that? I filmed it for a little bit. I don't even have the fucking video anymore. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes. I was kind of looking at it and then just kind of faded away. It wasn't natural. I look at the sky a lot because I really want to fucking see these things. I really believe in it. I love watching paranormal and extraterrestrial videos. It's fucking provocative. It's sexy. It's just like, we all want to think that there's something more out there besides just our plain, basic existence.
But I got a story that's similar to yours. Number one, I like what you said, because we all want to do that. We all want to explain it, but when something that weird happens, usually you go, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And that's all you can say.
Right.
And you put it out of sight, out of mind, where you're just like, oh shit. And that's why I kind of want to talk about this. One of the first time I ever got drunk, and I will say that I think chemicals play a big into these things. I think that they open up your mind to different things happening.
That's crazy, man. Have you ever done DMT?
No, I haven't. But Javi wants to. But
we are not the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm sorry for saying that.
The first or the second, I think it was the second time I was drinking. I was hanging out with a friend at the time, and we were playing some music outside. We had like a crappy drum set. Some people had some guitars and stuff. We were just jamming. We were just kids, like
Kumbaya,
15 or
motherfuckers.
16. And we look up at the moon, and there's something circling the moon, and it just looks like a little dot. We're like, what the fuck is that? But we're noticing as the night goes on, it continues to rotate clockwise around the moon until it hits about 9 o'clock. And then we watch it go from hitting 9 o'clock fairly far away from the moon, probably about an inch to an inch and a half.
Yeah, to the human eye from where you're at.
And it literally floats to the surface of the moon, and the moon changes color. We watched this happen in real time. And me and this kid turned to each other and we're like, you just fucking saw that, right? And he's like, yeah, I just fucking saw that. I was like, okay, all right.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting. So, like, but you heard about, okay, so whenever Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin and, God damn it, I forget the
Yeah,
third
the
one's
guy.
name.
The guy!
Well, he deserves more respect than he gets.
Like the third member of the
way,
Tennis.
He'll be the guy.
but either way,
He's the Ringo.
they said whenever they landed on the moon, it rang like a fucking bell.
Nah.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like it's fucking man-made, is what they're
it's filled
saying.
with
It's an
cheese.
artificial satellite. Well, yeah, of course. And then how
Was Ed Harris living in it?
Why would it?
No, this isn't the Truman
that's the
Show.
Truman Show
Yeah,
reference.
no.
That duck come out here. That was the first, like, experience I ever had with aliens. The second experience I had was we were staying in a cabin. Our friend's dad had built a little cabin on the side of, like, their property.
This is code for moonshine.
Yeah, we were drinking.
Pretty much.
We were probably 7, 8, 9 years old, something like that. And we went outside and we noticed the moon kept getting closer and closer.
This is code for moonshine also.
Yes, it's a moonshine story. It was getting closer and closer and closer until finally we went out and the moon looked like its own planet next to us. It freaked me the fuck out, dude. And the whole night we couldn't sleep because every time we'd open that door, that moon would be closer.
You probably were just in the middle of a supermoon and didn't realize it, though.
But it's still, I thought it was aliens. And I still get freaked out by the moon sometimes whenever it gets really big. I don't like it.
I try not to because it controls our tides.
Well, did you... and orgasms. Have you ever had an alien experience, an extraterrestrial experience?
Not per se. Like, and I really like, and I think that's why I watch a lot of these videos, is because I want to believe that there's something else out there. Like, we would have to be, in my mind, maybe y'all don't think this, but I mean, we have to be idiots to believe that everything the government tells us is the truth. That they're not covering up shit. That there wouldn't be mass pandemic across the world if they actually were like, yeah, aliens exist. Like, we wouldn't all just go, fuck! Like, are you kidding me? Like,
How do you think people would react to that news? Not good?
Well, okay, so President Reagan gave a great speech in the 80s to the UN. And I don't know if y'all have seen this or heard about it, but he is pretty much saying that he was way into Star Wars also, by the way. He also had a fucking project under his administration called Project Star Wars.
Oh, it's on Kennedy, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the deal is Ronald Reagan was talking about how united our nations could truly be while giving a UN speech, in intimating that if we had an outside conflict, we would see how quick that we would all band together.
Well, he wanted to build. Didn't he want to build a laser beam on the moon? Isn't that what it was?
I don't know exactly what it was. I think it's something like that. But
I'm pretty sure they made it. I'm pretty sure the satellites we have in space are superpowered lasers.
God, and that's another fucking scary thing also, though, because y'all know space junk, right? So you have all these burn-off rocket cells and fuel cells and shit that are just orbiting our fucking planet. And if you look at it on like a graph somebody has put up, and there's been several iterations of it, but we have like thousands upon thousands of pieces of fucking metal junk just orbiting our planet at any given time. Like, obviously. But what Reagan was getting at, it was almost kind of like y'all remember 9/11, how united we all were after this happened. Like, that was the most patriotic I've ever seen this country living in this generation.
I feel like we still have it. I feel like it did reunite. You don't think it's still there?
No, not at all.
You don't think, I'll stick a boot in your ass, it's the American way?
No, I don't.
Really?
America's not like that anymore. We are way too divided.
You guys don't feel patriotic? Really?
I feel patriotic.
I feel patriotic. Well, I love this country.
Well, to be fair, you're both white.
Well, and you're also goddamn racially ambiguous, which means you're loved by everybody also.
No, growing up, I was hated by everything.
What I was getting at is Reagan was talking about an outside force coming down, how quick we would all band together to make sure that they're not overtaking us. So that holds a little bit of gravity whenever we talk about these outside forces and shit like that.
That's pretty interesting, because that's how like Futurama's government was like. It was a world government, and it probably started after the first alien invasion.
Well, that's what we're all going towards. It's the new world order. I don't mean to be Mr. Conspiracy Theorist here or anything else, but like...
Well, let's shift it back to the paranormal, if we can. I want to talk about the time I saw what I will call a space stingray.
Okay.
I was laying on the porch with my girlfriend before I moved to Texas.
This is Pennsylvania.
Old fucking heroin head, okay, we'll call her that. We called her Pumpkin Teeth. She looked like a jack-o'-lantern. She was missing a bunch of teeth.
Just Jackie
Yeah,
Lantern.
we called her all pumpkin teeth. That's what Ben
You
called
really
her
did
now.
like dumpster fires.
I told you I did. I'm a fan. And by the way, she was amazing at fucking. Too bad she wasn't just fucking me.
Aww.
Like I said, I dated the town whore and expected her not to cheat on me. Never do that.
How does everybody ride this bicycle?
You smell like cum!
Yeah.
But I was laying on a roof of the garage with her, and we're looking up at the sky. And I don't think we were fucked up, but we might have been. And I'm looking up there, and all of a sudden I see this, what it looks like a constellation moving around. It looks like it's swimming throughout the fucking sky.
Like the aliens from the abyss.
Kind of. That was the best way to describe it. It looked like a space stingray. And as we're watching it, it's doing all these wild patterns. I'm like, do you fucking see this? She's like, yeah, I see this. Do you see this? We watched it for an hour dance throughout the sky before it just
How much PCP did you both do
disappeared.
before that?
We didn't take any PCP. That's what I'm saying. I actually think we were sober. I don't know.
He's trying to play us. You don't take PCP.
Smoke it. But I remember thinking the same thing. Like, that's fucked up. But no one will ever believe we saw that, so there's nothing you can do about it. The paranormal stuff like that always freaks me out, but like that plays in the same with the ghost stuff. We used to go to this mansion near where I grew up called the Varner Mansion in Sligo, Pennsylvania. And why I think it was haunted was there's Sligo, Ireland, and there's Sligo, Pennsylvania. And everything was brought from Ireland to build this mansion. All the bricks, the trees were brought from Ireland. Everything was shipped in. Wow. And there's the mansion, and then next to it is the slave quarters. And then there's a portion of the mansion that was moved to another piece of land by the elementary school.
Varner
Mansion,
Castle?
It's called. It's called Varner Mansion is what it is.
Oh, okay.
And it still stands to this day. So
When was it erected?
probably 1750s, if not earlier. Like, it's old, man.
God damn.
And we used to go in there all the time
Yeah.
and fucking look around, be in the haunted mansion.
Did Liam Neeson appear and go, so you wee harlot?
Dude, I have dreams
I
about
just want to kill a black man.
I'm not even... Well, it could be
You
true.
ever seen the movie High Spirits?
That's if it's a horror movie,
Well, here's
you
the
know
thing.
the black man's gonna
We used to
die.
go in there, and
Jesus.
the guy who owned it owned the funeral home in town, and he'd keep his caskets in the basement. So this is a real mansion, like legit mansion. It's bigger than this entire complex, like this single buildings. Like, it's huge.
It's a fucking castle.
It's giant, dude. 3 stories. So we go in there and we take a little electronic recorder and we record and we try. This is the time Ghost Hunters was big and everyone was kind of getting into that shit, and we wanted to do that. So we go through and we record stuff, and I swear to God there were voices answering our questions on this recorder. We would go in there late at night, but I remember taking people in there who I thought were like brave people, and they'd be scared as shit. It was like Scooby-Doo up in that bitch. They'd just be like, I'd be like, they're like,
Fred's upstairs fucking the 2 girls, and you're down there patrolling with the dog trying
every
to find
time.
spooks.
I'm like, come on, like, Zoinks, let's do this. But I remember going through there, and we would catch EVPs, and we would see shit all the time. And I still have nightmares to this day about being in that mansion. But I love that mansion. It was wonderful.
I guess,
Good.
It just sent a show down my spec because I just remembered it. My cousin Matt, I fucking love Matt so much. He's one of my favorite
Matt,
cousins.
you're awesome.
He has a seizure condition, and when he was 4, we didn't know it. But we had a really bad episode this one time where he was just sitting in front of the TV and he was looking up. He was looking above the TV. He was sweating and he was breathing hard. And I was like, Matt, what are you looking at? He goes, she's up there. She's up there. And his eyes would roll back and go, she's up there. She's getting closer. Jay, she's getting closer. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Also, he like passes out. His mom rushed him to the hospital, and then like we started messing around the Ouija board. Like, he's stable and shit, but he's sleeping. We're sitting there on the table right next to his bed.
How did you feel about the Ouija board?
I didn't like it, but I was fucking bored. I was like, let's do this.
How old were you?
I think I was 9 or 10.
Oh, okay.
And we started playing around. I was like, are there any spirits here? Because it was a children's hospital that he was in. Maybe there's like ghosts of dead kids here. It's like, are there any spirits here? And like all of a sudden, it goes, yes. And all of a sudden,
The way you said that was so dramatic and ridiculous.
and it was just like, all of a sudden, like,
It doesn't slide across the board and go,
Yeah.
I
it's
think it
spelled
even
out.
said it. It was like, why?
I get it. You did it for dramatic effect, and it was so good. But the way you slid it, like,
Are there spirits here that spells out he, yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, so they're like, it goes yes, and all of a sudden, like, Matt, he starts moaning, like, and he's like sweating. Then all of a sudden, you see his pulse like start to jump, and you can actually see each heartbeat
shit.
jump up and down in his fucking neck.
How skinny was he?
He was a pretty chubby kid, I'm not gonna lie.
You saw the pulse through his neck.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can see it on you, like, but it was like,
Yeah.
and like he was just like getting really sweaty again, like the fucking woman was back. And I was like, we're putting this away? Because before he passed out at the house, he was like, I see her, she's getting closer. I don't know, but it was just fucking weird.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
So the things that I don't necessarily agree with EVP is, like, it's picking up radio frequency, yeah?
Could be. Absolutely.
So, like, you're hearing certain things because it's just...
It could also be people just talking. It could be
But
mixing.
also, they're taking out certain sounds from certain things.
I think
like,
for
right?
me, like, if you're doing an EVP recording, you could just be like, whisper something in there. Like, sometimes when we're recording, I'll hear one of us whisper something. I didn't see you whisper it, so I
It'll
don't
pick it up.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
So I have to go like, oh, that was Javi, or oh, that was
Right.
Jake. They said this.
Right.
Here. Or we'll pick up the sounds from outside.
Which
That's
is
a big
why
thing.
I duct tape all my friends' mouths before we go to do
Exactly.
EVPs.
Like, "Don't talk."
Yeah.
I will say this about that mansion, though. My first girlfriend, her family was thinking about buying it. And when they were doing
Damn,
that...
you should have stayed with her.
No, trust me, I know. The family brought in a psychic to go into the mansion and talk to it. And she said, the ghosts here want you to buy this place. They say if you don't buy it, it's never going to be fixed up.
God. Are you kidding me? Were they the ghost hunters, the realtors for the place? Like, what the fuck?
They were in delusion.
Like, what the fuck? They really want you to
He's
buy
like,
this
listen,
place.
the ghost said, buy the home.
Yeah. And then Mr. Varner's handing him money underneath it. He's just like, trick that bitch. I would say that, but I do think that their family has, like, they came from, like, gypsies and shit like that on her mother's side. So I do think they have a connection to that stuff. Me, personally, I've always felt like, for me, I can see and kind of feel shit. An empath, kind of like you, Javi, or you, Jake. You are a little bit more in tune with what's going on, especially with people. Empaths have a very thin veil between here and the spiritual realm, and I truly believe that. For me, personally, I ignore it because I don't want to be involved with that shit. I don't know about you guys, if you ignore it or not.
It's not that I don't want to be involved with it. I just find it too easy for myself to debunk.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I try to play, I try to be logical about everything. To me, there's a reason for everything, or else we would have more documentation about this shit.
Personal experience can be faulty, too,
right?
Because this shit up top can go haywire.
If you're already out there by yourself and you're with somebody who else is fucking feeble-minded, but I mean, if you are, exactly.
You absolutely can.
It's the same thing as placebos or anything else. You can.
It's a mentality too. Like if
you can incarnate these fucking things.
Exactly. You can create a common illusion between you two.
But also,
the same things.
Where does that end? And how do we know that that's not actually a real fucking thing? That we're fucking conjuring these things.
I agree.
You get
with
what
that
I'm saying?
Too. Here's what I would say though, from my experience in this, I didn't believe in ghosts for a long time. Where I was like, oh, it's all bullshit. None of that's happening. And then I started working at nursing homes, and that changed my perspective. There was a lady named Ruth. She had dementia. Lived in a nursing home. She was a multimillionaire. Her family stole all of her money, stuck her in this home in the middle of Clarion, Pennsylvania, and she wasn't all there, and she would come up to me and she'd go, David, can I have a Werther's Original? And I would buy Werther's Originals so she could have it. She'd be up all night. David, can I have
Hold
coffee?
people on their Werther's.
Oh, dude. I know. It was so perfect. Or she'd go, David, can I have a cigarette? And I was like, yeah, you can have a cigarette. I'd give her a cigarette. And she'd go, I love you. And she'd walk away. One night, in a moment of clarity, we're sitting outside, and she goes, you know I'm a millionaire. I go, I know. I've been told. She goes, my family stole my money. I was like, I know. I've been told. She goes, can I have a Werther's Original? So I got so used to her walking up in my periphery, it was like a joke to me. I like to wait for her to walk up and just kind of be like, oh, there you are, Ruth. And I always make sure I have my cigarettes on me or the candy.
Of course.
So I'm cleaning.
You're a good orderly.
I'm yeah, basically. I'm cleaning. I'm sweeping the place. I see her walking up to me. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get her. I got these Werther's Originals. And I go to turn to her. No one's fucking there. Nothing.
You thought you saw her.
I literally said, Ruth. Hey, Ruth. Nothing. Not only did this happen once, but this happened multiple times where I saw her walk up to me from my peripheral. And I'd be like, hey, Ruth, here's what it was. The activity as people on the ward were passing away gets crazy. It actually does. You can smell death. You can feel death. You can spot it.
You can tell it's about to happen.
You can feel the presence of death within a room.
Like they're going to die tonight.
And it literally is terrifying.
God damn.
To the point where I worked in a nursing home here. It was a dementia ward. Like a true dementia ward. The place I worked at previously wasn't. This was Alzheimer's dementia. The place was circular. And there were two living areas. There was one in the front and one in the back. And in the middle was the offices. And everything else in the oval shape was the rooms for the clients. And as people were about to pass away, you could see shadows running up and down the hallway. And I'm not even joking about that. You would just be sitting there. and there would be a sinister feeling, and you just see these shadows go. And I would look at my coworker Yolanda at the time, and I'd be like, "Did you see that?" She's like, "Yeah, I saw that." I was like, "All right, just making sure." And there would be a heavy feeling, and we had 2 clients who refused to stay in bed when somebody was about to pass away. The one lady would pack her bags. I'm leaving. I can't stay here. I'm leaving. I gotta go.
Man,
I gotta
you can't
get out
leave.
You can't leave. The door's locked, literally. And what we did was, instead of arguing with her, we let her pack her stuff and stay at the front and wait. She's like, "I'm waiting for a ride. I can't be here." And this happened for 3 days before somebody would pass away. She would feel it. And so you got that. You've got shadow people running up and down the hallways. You've got this lady standing at the front. Like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. So one night I'm doing laundry. In the middle of the living room, just doing laundry, next to the TV to the left, the piano's here. And I'm folding towels or something like that in this big old basket. And I see the shadows running all night. We know something's going to happen. And I look up for a second, and I see the Grim Reaper himself staring at me. And he looks like a decrepit, skeletal creature with flesh hanging off of him. And he's wearing a suit jacket.
Oh, wow.
And it's deteriorated. It looks like it's been in the grave for like 2,000 years. Like, it's just torn to pieces. And I see him staring at me. And he disappears. I literally fell on the floor.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, what the fuck was
How old
that?
were you at this time?
I was like 27, dude. It was when I first moved here to Texas. Like, it wasn't that long ago.
Is that why you moved here to Texas?
Yeah, to see the Grim Keeper, dude? No, there ain't no way. So, anyhow, when I saw the Grim Keeper, it freaked... I like calling him Grim.
Yeah,
I like calling him the Keeper. It's
the
fun.
Creeper is also good.
Yeah. So, I remember seeing that, and I remember that scaring me so intensely that I couldn't work after that. I was just like, fuck this laundry. Fuck all this shit. And I'll be damned if somebody didn't die.
You had to do your own laundry after that point.
Well, I remember being so bothered by it. I texted my mom. I was like, why does he look like that? I don't want that to be the last thing people see. Javi is so freaked out right now.
Well,
yes, I got him.
It wasn't the last thing that you saw,
No,
obviously.
it wasn't.
Maybe...
Or was it?
Yeah, so... Why is it that we have this depiction of him and it always pretty much looks the same?
But mine was different. Like,
I know that, but I'm saying, but
creature.
you weren't dying. That's the difference.
Well, the only thing I can figure out is maybe I was working 2 jobs, I was sleep deprived, maybe I was hallucinating.
You also said that you have bipolar.
I do.
Does that also come in hallucinations?
No.
No.
So who said that you were sleep deprived, you were fucking exhaustion? Who said that that just wasn't a hallucination?
Who said it wasn't the Grim Keeper?
It very much, yeah, I mean, it very much could have been, but also, like, I mean, who's to say that it wasn't that?
Yeah.
Who's to say it wasn't
If it's so real that you can feel it, who is anybody to argue with you about what you've seen?
But once again,
this is why people fucking get ridiculed for seeing Bigfoot, or having alien abductions, or dealing with ghosts, or whatever else. How can we put ourselves in their mindset and know exactly what the hell they fucking saw?
But I'm also with Javi. I can play it up to I'm exhausted.
You try to be logical about it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you want to find a real.
That's fucked up.
Because you know in the back of your mind that this shit ain't real, right?
Or is it?
Exactly. That's the whole fucking thing.
I can't say whether it was real or not.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
There's two. You can either go one or two ways with this. You know, obviously being logical. I mean, that's the way to go with everything in life.
Did we get Javi, though, is the question? Are you freaked out yet?
No.
I think he's actually come to terms with all of it.
I always remember, like, this song lyric about when it comes to the death and Grim Reaper that always puts me at ease about it.
Yeah, Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult.
No, it's not that. It's, don't be afraid of death. He's just your oldest friend. And he's going to come back for what he forgot.
Bro, did you see that fucking thing that I posted? It was a memory from a couple of... Hold on. This is a poem by Clarence E. Flynn, and it's entitled Death. And he's writing it from the perspective of death itself. It says, "Why do you fear me? I am your friend. I but guide travelers rounding round the bend. Lead them to freedom from time and age. Help them start writing on a new page. Seek for me never. Keep your course true. When I am needed, I'll come to you. Then I will show you roads without end. Why do you fear me? I am your friend." We all know that our time here is finite.
It's limited.
Yes.
It's something that's like, death isn't... It's not the enemy. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's fucking natural.
Right, but also there's a human longing to want to know what happens whenever we're done.
Yeah.
We all long to know what happens at the end, yeah. Like, I mean, that's
beyond,
been the biggest question from the dawn of man. It's like, why are we here? What happens whenever we die? And I think in a lot of ways, the simulation theory that I don't necessarily believe in, but it makes a lot more fucking sense every time I think about it. Whenever we die, it's all black. We just hit reset and we start off as something else. We go somewhere else, we do something else. We don't even have to fucking be on Earth either. Who knows? But it's a ride. It's a journey. We all long for knowing the unexplained, but there's some things that we're never going to truly, fully understand, because you look at the time that we're in now, we have HD fucking high-def cameras. We have fucking cameras that you hold in your hand. You can zoom onto the fucking potholes of the fucking moon, the crater indentions, but yet we don't have any clear footage of ghosts. It's always blurry. You don't have any fucking high-def footage of UFOs, shit like that. So it's kind of like, Are we trying to buy more into this and we're just being put on? Or is it people making these videos that want to believe in this shit also, that are just trying to put everybody else on? But there's nothing definitive about any of this.
But the unknown is what we always are interested in.
Of course.
And we want to search for knowledge, and that's the whole thing. But I agree with you. There is no concrete proof that any of it exists.
No.
But it's the same with religion. There's no concrete proof that it exists.
That was out the window for me a long time ago.
But that's what I'm saying, is there is a faith aspect that plays into all of this. And also there's a fun aspect that plays into it, too.
Yeah, it's intriguing.
It's so fucking fun.
Like,
that's
fuck
the thing.
yeah, dude.
Watching ghost videos is one of the funnest things, because it hits that nerve inside you, like, I don't know what's going on, and that's fucked up, and that scares me.
I've got a few good ghost videos I don't want to show you.
Oh, we're gonna watch them.
I've subscribed to a guy called Nuke's Top 5s, and this guy
I've seen
dude, he puts on some really compelling shit. So I'm like, chills, the guy who talks like this is not that guy. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah.
I hate that motherfucker.
I did
so
too.
much.
We're watching it. Just let you
Alright,
know.
for me, paranormal, some videos will creep me the fuck out. You really want to get me the creep that you bring me videos about, like, government experimentation, like Philadelphia experiment.
Right.
Do you know about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That scares
Am
the
I not from
fuck
Pennsylvania?
That scared the fuck out of me because it's actually real.
Yes.
Well, we don't know that.
I believe that that's real.
I want to. I truly do.
His grandfather was stuck in the wall.
Have you seen the mini documentary Into the Mushroom?
No.
It's about how
Is it on YouTube?
I think so. It's about how the U.S. government and the British government will set off a nuclear bomb and then send their soldiers into the mushroom cloud.
Oh, fuck.
That sounds
awesome. But that's true, man. They fucking really did do this shit. They had to know the effects of what this was capable of. After the bomb was detonated, they had to know if you could fly through it, if you could go through anything else. So there were people that willingly gave their fucking lives for these experiments.
Like, this guy was in the U.S. Army, and they did a test site in Nevada. They put us in these foxholes, and our captain said, turn away from the blast. Do not look at the light. Keep your head down. And he said, my eyes were closed, my hands were down, the light was so bright, I could see my bones through my closed eyes.
Fuck. Yeah, bro.
I saw every blood vessel, my eyes were closed.
So that shit gives me goosebumps right there.
Yeah.
That's fucking chilling to the bone.
He said after 5 minutes, I looked up and we saw this beautiful cloud and the flames were green, orange, purple, black, all different colors. And then we walked to it, and then he started.
I've seen the video where they're all walking towards the cloud.
And he started to cry. He's like, I'm telling you, I've never been so scared in my life as I have walking towards that.
Damn.
And then he was the only survivor of that group that didn't die of cancer.
That's fucking.
He was the only one that's still alive to this day. He gets tested twice a year for any type of cancer.
So
and
there's
his dick sucked every
There's
night.
a new miniseries on HBO, Chernobyl. Y'all heard about it?
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
This
thing is fucking badass. It's really good. And the way that they tried covering up the reactor, everybody was trying to make it seem like it was nothing at all. But it's like, y'all have no idea. Nobody can ever possibly imagine this. It was like the worst thing ever to happen to the planet Earth, honestly. They tried putting it off like it was no more than a fucking chest cough that you would get from it. No, that shit lasts for thousands upon thousands of years.
It's a terrible.
Yeah, but the fact that they tried fucking downplaying it so much, we'll just fucking pour some water on the core, and it's like, you assholes, the core is gone. It's completely blown up. There's no fucking safety procedure or fucking guidelines on how to go about this, where the entire fucking core is exploded. There's a 2-ton mass of radiation sitting in the basement of
That was
Chernobyl.
just glowing a sinister
and they call it the elephant foot. is what they call it, because it fucking is still there. So these are the real fucking monsters on this planet.
I was going to say, so does that play into the... I feel like paranormal does play into the conspiracy aspect of our minds a little bit.
We've had a lot of declassified alien footage video being released by the Air Force and the Navy in the past few years.
And honestly,
the Roswell crash in 1947 was covered up immediately, even though they displayed it.
Did you see the Rogan podcast when he had on that conspiracy?
Bob Lazar.
No, with the woman that wrote a book, and she said, "Oh yeah, it was completely fake. What they had was like the Russians like augmented actual people to make them look like aliens and send them over to the U.S."
You guys tell me how we went from
much.
We went from
That's too much.
Okay, tell me how we went from thousands and thousands of years of the same way of living. The clothes changed a little bit towards the end, right?
Right.
Thousands of years of the same sort of
technology
living.
A little bit also.
And then all of a sudden, well, that's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, we get guns.
A boom.
And then all of a sudden we get steel. Well, and all of a sudden we get 100 years of advancement where we carry holographic tablets with us now everywhere we go.
Right.
We carry data that we can't see that's circulating in this room right now. I have no idea how
the technology jumped from 1900
years
to now.
Are you saying...
It's fucking insane.
Okay, so are you saying you're an ancient astronaut theorist? Ancient alien theorist?
I buy into a little bit of that because aliens.
Right.
But secondly, I also buy into the idea of, notice in the last 50 years, we've made a lot of advancements very quickly. Just since we were children, it changed completely. Like I said, when I was a kid, I imagined having a watch on my hand, like Penny and Inspector
We would have
Gadget.
had flying cars by now.
I'm saying, but a lot of the stuff the idea of like teleportation is happening. They can teleport atoms now. The idea of a space elevator they're creating at this point.
It's all quantum mechanics. That's how they explain it away.
Genetically engineered animals are a thing now. So all that stuff that we thought was science fiction is science fact now. So what happened in the last 50 to 100 years that we went from a style of living that we were used to an industrial revolution, and to the atomic age, and to the electronic age?
So, if you were like in charge of the human race, would you be doling out that type of technology all at one shot? Do you know how fast we would kill each other and destroy this planet?
I mean, but that might be part of the reason why the Dark Ages happened.
It's true.
There's no written record or anything about anything that happened from like 10,000 to 1400, pretty much. So there comes a point. Okay, do y'all know what the Antikythera mechanism is? It's this fucking old piece of fucking machinery that they found in the bottom of the fucking Aegean Sea or some shit, like over by Rome. It's a astrological computer, pretty much. It's got these intricate gears, stuff that was way ahead of the fucking time at that time. We could have had a couple different doomsdays that we didn't even fucking know about. Like, they could have already been super fucking advanced. Even the fucking Egyptians getting the pyramids built and the Sphinx built and everything like that. And then just something catastrophic happens and wipes out all the technology, and there it goes. It's done. They have to start from scratch again. So that makes sense to me in a sense why we do see a big boom from a certain amount. But like, you look at, say, whenever we colonialized the colonies of America, as opposed to 1900, the Industrial Revolution, like how fast it grew. Fuck, man. Yeah. I don't even know.
It was aliens?
I'm
trying to tie it back. Do you think it was aliens that gave us this
I
technology?
don't fucking know, man. I really want to believe that it's something greater, but also at the same time, I want to believe that the humans are capable of doing stuff that...
Well, there's a theory that the pyramids were built through sound technology, because you can levitate things with sound. You can do that. And there's a theory that is how they brought those stones over, is they levitated them through the use of sonic waves.
There was a fucking Ripley's Believe It or Not that I watched years and years ago, and this guy has a place in Florida where it's all these massive, fucking 2 or 3 ton fucking stones. You can't lift them by yourself at all, but the guy did it all by himself. He had them loaded up to his place, and he made the crew leave while they fucking had the shipment there. That way he can get it all in place himself. He'd take his fucking shirt off and he'd move the fucking stones. Nobody knows how he fucking did it. But if you look at the place, I mean, you can look it up now. We can find it out. But there is a place where a guy was moving these fucking things and they have no goddamn clue how he did it.
And you know how he did it? Javi, tell us how you fucking moved that lamp. Boom. Bringing it back.
Yeah, I really do believe we probably did get technology from aliens, because if you look at a lot of Renaissance paintings, always up in the sky, there's always a fucking tiny metal
orb, but it's not a star.
Isn't the Mona Lisa?
It's like in the shape of a UFO. There's got even one of them, I can't remember, actually has tiny little windows in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
You watched a lot of Ancient Aliens, didn't you?
No, this is actually in Renaissance.
No, these are Renaissance paintings. Like, they fucking
Like,
document.
a
They
lot
might,
of them-
actually, they
From the
probably
Mona
did
Lisa,
showcase
right?
them on Ancient Aliens at some point, but I mean,
there was
this
like
is...
this Roman painter.
You're talking about the one with Mary and the baby Jesus?
Yeah, Mary and Baby
Yeah, I was
Jesus
going to
had
say,
one.
there's like 3 UFOs in the
It
fucking
was totally
background.
an Ancient
Yeah.
Aliens,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there was also one of this little boy by this riverbank, and up in the sky, you see this metallic thing. It's not a kite.
There's
it's
no
not-
explanation for what it is. It's not anything naturally occurring.
Well, they even go into like the Catholic imagery, and they say there's a lot of UFO type imagery within this. You know what I mean?
the Mayans with their depictions of spacemen.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Lizard
saying,
people,
like
yeah.
there's that
The
one very
Chariots of the
famous one
Gods.
where the guy's fucking riding. Yeah, Chariots of the Eric Von Däniken, but he came out and said that he was pretty much full of shit.
Yeah, you know what? But even people who are full of shit, they hit it once in a while.
But there's the famous fucking the Mayan astronaut also, where the dude's like in the fucking craft.
Yeah.
And he's got like the breathing tube, and he's
Absolutely.
like flying up in a goddamn rocket, like.
But I do love
This
Chariots
shit?
of the Gods.
Oh
I'm
god,
not
dude,
gonna
I
lie. It's
love
so
all
fucking-
that shit,
Well,
dude. Because I want to believe. I'm a believer. I want to.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you listening to us. This has been Duck. Please go to our Facebook, We Are Era, and subscribe. Go to our YouTube at Quack Attack 5000 or Quack Attack 5000 podcast. Please subscribe to that. Send us an email at quackattack5000@gmail.com.
Please do.
Please share this with your friends if you enjoyed listening. We've had a blast talking about this tonight.
Good stuff.
This has been Duck. I've been here with
Jake.
and Javi. And thank you so much for listening. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Wait.
We're ghosts. We're fucking ghosts.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.